Hi guys, got another project going. This time I think I've upped my game a little bit because this particular file I had to build. I couldn't find one online, and it's for gear obviously, and I could not. There are some online calculators that you're supposed to be able to use. Couldn't make those work, so ended up exploring the FreeCad program, and there's a plugin for making gears within that program, and then I did a couple tutorials just to learn the basic commands. The plugin will very quickly get you the outside, like a solid version of this, but then you have to learn how to do some simple operations to cut the actual hole for the spindle and the keyway. So what this is, if you go back in my archives, I made a couple of gears for the Atlas the old-fashioned way, and they're the two gears that ride underneath this. This goes actually onto the spindle of the lathe, and then you have this little banjo contraption down below that is actually your forward and reverse gear. And I replaced those two gear. I rebuilt them, out of aluminum with the, the old-fashioned manufacturing process with the cutters and a dividing head and all that, and it was an adventure. And I never got around to remaking this one, and as you can see, it's pretty chewed up. So it's something I really wanted to try. Wonder how well a plastic one would hold up. I was thinking, if it does the job for normal work, having plastic gears in the train could be a fail-safe. If you crash the machine, hey, you break your plastic gear, you go print another one. So theoretically it could be cool. So we'll see how it turns out. Oh, I learned one sad fact about this particular model. This one does not have the thermal override or thermal runaway protection, and that's bad news. There's a possibility I can upgrade the firmware, but apparently, basically, the advice out there is if your machine is running, don't mess with it. I tried doing my slicing for this project with a newer version of the Creality slicer software, and it was all jacked up. So I went back to the version of the software that shipped with this machine. Appears to be doing just great. I've heard the same thing, that if you try to upgrade the firmware to recover that thermal runaway protection, you might jack it up. So what that means is, they tell you never to leave one of these things unattended anyway, but at least if you had the thermal runaway protection, you'd have some measure of security, I guess. Although when I Google thermal runaway, I come up with a lot of responses where people saying they're getting false positives and the machine's crashing because it's having a thermal runaway error indicator when it's not really running away. So, I figure I will not, most likely never leave it, unattended for very long. I've gone in and eaten dinner and come back and that kind of thing. I have a buddy who sets his running and goes out of town. That sounds risky to me, but and they make fireproof enclosures for them, so that might be something that gave me a little safer feeling about it. I don't know, but so that is one sad fact about the old Ender-5, is that it does not have that feature, and I'm reluctant to try to modify it just because it's working, and apparently it's very easy to make it not work anymore. So I want to enjoy it. Well, here we go. It's a moment of truth. So this thing took 4 hours and 20 minutes to print. The slicer program predicted it was going to take 3 hours and 30 minutes. Everything's lining up pretty well. And I think the fit's going to be fine. I think the question is going to wind up being whether it's strong enough. There we go. I didn't end up with too much of that spidery stuff inside of here, and I think maybe that's because this isn't threaded like that other piece was. I think the threads really encouraged all this nonsense. Looks pretty smooth. This isn't coming off as easy as the other one did. And a little bit of stuff to clean up here. I chose an 80% fill. I don't know, maybe I should have done 100%. You know, I'm just learning this stuff. But tomorrow we'll give it a try on the lathe. It's a little bit late for me right now. We'll run the lathe through some paces and see if this thing goes kablooey. I'm really hoping if it's if these plastic gears turn out to be up to the task and semi-durable, is that the lathe will be really quiet. I think that would be great. But I don't know, we'll find out. There's very little at risk at the moment, so that's good. Yeah, I'm pleased. Alright, this is going to be the moment of truth here. There's our piece. I'm going to mount it this way. The key is up. Looks like it might be a little bit of a persuasion job. I know that's not the tool for the job. Yeah. Saw that coming, didn't you? I'm wondering a little bit about this piece here. I need to look at an exploded view, but it seems like that should seat all the way in there. But I mean, it's coming up pretty tight, so I'm going to leave it like that for right now. And we can just sort of get an idea. So this lever right here, this is neutral. And you can see the spindle just turns on its own. And up here is, I forget whether that's forward or reverse. But anyway, it's a reversing gear is what this little arrangement is right here. So neutral again, and then forward or reverse. I think that's forward. Anyway. So So that's how this is supposed to engage. It's engaging just fine. Question is the strength of it. Now when I got this lathe, these gears were chewed up and this one was chewed up. I made new aluminum replacements here. I didn't do that great a job. They're not as tight as I would like them to be, but the teeth are good. And these teeth were chewed up. What I think happened is a previous owner didn't read the instruction manual, and you're not supposed to engage this while the lathe is in operation. You're supposed to stop the lathe, set it to forward, reverse, or neutral, do your operation, reset it. You stop the lathe, reset it. I think somebody was jamming it in while it was running, and that's why all three of these were kind of chewed up. All the rest of the gears are in good shape. So if I can get this assembly in good shape, it should be good. So I think the gear works fine, with no load on it. I mean, it fits, let's put it that way. So the test now will be to put some stock in here and make some cuts and see whether it actually does its job. But this is kind of exciting. It fits. It was tighter going on than I wanted, and that was because of the keyway. The keyway was a little tight. With the inner diameter seems pretty good. The teeth seem really good. So yeah, I'm pretty happy. And I'll be interested to see what it sounds like too. Alright, so we're going to try it out for the first time. I'm going to try it with no load, and then I'm going to dial it in and put a load on it. So let's see, I believe this is, stick that back here. I think that's forward. Let's try it. Still noisy, and that's because of the gears that I made that are fun. And let's unplug and see what we got. Alright, going freehand. I can't really run this with the cover off because the switch is mounted back there. I've actually got the machine unplugged right now. And just sort of do a visual here. Focus. So far, so good. I mean, you know, we'll have to see. It didn't quiet the machine down as much as I hoped, and that's largely I think a lot of my noise is coming from these guys that I made right here. I think everything else is, well, I don't know, I guess there's some looseness in other places as well. Hard to say. It's noisier than I wish it was. But for right now, she's a runner, and I'll probably print a spare. Maybe do the next one 100% fill, have that waiting in the wings, and see what happens. But for now, calling it good. And just so you can see the gears that I replaced with these guys that I made, that's what they had come down to. And you know, this was chewed up. So yeah, it's the reversing mechanism, and I think someone, while running the machine, was just, you know, jamming it in and out of gear, which you're not supposed to do. You're supposed to let it stop, put it in forward or reverse, then start it, then stop it to make any change. And if you don't, then that's what you get. That's my theory anyway. So now I have my 2 homemade aluminum gears and my 3D printed plastic gear, and we'll see how it lasts.